Welcome to Soccer is Football. 1, 2, 3.
Play!
Eso! What just happened?
Welcome to episode 31, and we have a live audience.
That's right.
I can't believe this.
That's
this is
right.
the craziest thing ever.
Oh, yeah!
We need to...
Sorry.
First of all, we need to calm down because I'm already losing my mind.
Yes.
At that introduction. That introduction was insane.
We had, if you didn't catch that, you can rewind it because...
You can rewind as much as you want. That helps her
You don't rewind anymore. For those of you that are young, you just scroll back.
Just scroll back.
Rewind, they don't know what rewind.
That introduction was by our latest and greatest fans, Matthew and Isabella, who came here from Nashville with parents Florencia and Justin.
And they're sitting right here.
And they're
right
here
in the studio.
They're in the studio with us.
We have that. Did you put that video? Did you queue up that video,
Come on,
Danny?
man.
Can you put up that video so we can show?
We can react.
We can show that.
We have guests.
We have guests.
Actual people came to see us from Nashville, Tennessee.
Can you introduce the people that came to see us?
It's the Gibraltar's family. And I forgot her name. I can't believe it.
Can you go first? You go first. And you introduce it. Okay, who we have here?
This is Justin.
Hey, Justin. Look at Justin. Look at how handsome.
He's such a good-looking family.
Isabella.
Matthew.
And Matthew.
Both soccer players. Both were in Sega Cinco Corazón.
They both win a mini World Cup.
Una Copa Mundial.
Una copita. Y Florencia es un mate. Eso.
Mate de cuero increíble. Muy bien.
That was great. Thank you so much, guys.
For coming, you guys.
Thank you. You just repeated what you said on the video. That's crazy.
It's an inception. Thank you.
Inception moment. That's right.
Thank you to the family.
You guys, thank you for coming. En serio, nos voló la cabeza.
Gracias.
Increíble. Those two kids have a future. First of all, Matthew looks like a mini Messi. Messi 2.0. It's starting. And Isabella scored an amazing goal. And when they put their earphones on, they were like natural. It was like they had been doing this for years.
That's right.
More than us.
I don't know if they did it on purpose.
We should actually hire them.
One of Messi's kids' name is Mateo, so is that on purpose? Was that on purpose? No sé.
Mateo Messi 2.0.
My son, I named my son. Middle name is Mateo too, so
I love it.
Hopefully he likes soccer.
I love it. He better.
Seba, how are you?
I'm good, dude.
How was your weekend, man?
It was amazing, and something arrived.
What arrived?
Tengo un regalito para los dos.
No. He hasn't. I haven't. You don't want to show it to me. Like you haven't shown it to me.
I haven't shown it to you.
What is this?
And you wanted to peek, and I'm gonna. Do you want to open it?
No.
I'm gonna. Tengo periódico acá. Esto viene de Argentina.
What?
De Argentina. ¿Estás ready?
I saw a glimpse of something.
Cállate, no digas nada, pará. O si no, abrilo vos. Va.
Okay.
2, 3, toma. ¡Abrilo!
Boludo, what is this? What is this?
Nos llegó regalitos.
¡Qué lindo! Oh, bro, what is this? I don't know what it is, but it's incredible. River, el más grande.
Es un mate del Monumental.
No.
I would like to thank Etsy for being amazing. Está increíble, loco. Mira.
Fit in there.
Yo tengo.
¡Qué increíble!
I'm going to open up mine real quick.
¿Vos tenés la bombonera?
Sí, la bombonera increíble.
Bro, this is beautiful.
Isn't this cute? I totally saw it on Etsy and I was like, I have to have it.
Wait, did you buy this on Etsy for real?
I bought it on Etsy, yes.
All right.
Etsy rocks. Mira esto. Can you
It has smells very 3D printer-ish.
Mira esto.
Wow.
Mira, Boca sos mi vida y mira esto. Mira, Seba y
¡Qué
Eric.
lindo!
Es un mate.
Es un
Acá
mate.
tengo las bombillitas.
Sí, mira. Y el mío es más grande.
Siempre tenés que meter eso.
Así se llama el monumental, el más grande. El más monumental, el más grande, mira.
Why do you have to ruin it?
Es el más grande. It says it right there.
Mira las bombillitas que llegaron, mira. Cucu. Bombillita. Ahí está, listo. So now there you go. Ahí está.
Está buenísima. Oh, it says my name.
I told you that when I showed you.
Yours doesn't have.
Of course.
Dude, this is incredible. I want to put it right here.
Ajá. Solo pongo. Solo voy a poner acá.
No sé. Acá al lado de Messi.
No, pon acá, mira. Acá.
Acá. Okay. Ahí está.
Esa.
Al lado de la.
Se viene Boca.
Ahí está. Thank you, bro. That was
Of course,
great,
bro. It was a good weekend because that package arrived. I was really happy about that.
That's nice.
And then it was a good weekend, but it also wasn't a good weekend for some teams in the MLS.
Oh, that's true.
What do you
That
think
is
of the
true.
games, man? First of all, before we keep going, I want to say a special prayer a la Virgen María and all the whoever we can pray, un rosario algo, para la pierna de Messi. Because that foul,
De McBobo.
the Magbobo in Geodis Park for the CONCACAF Champions Cup was
If you saw,
Magwaludo,
I think.
Magbobo. What was the name again? McNaughton. Thank you,
McNaughton.
Justin. McNaughton.
He's
McNada.
McNaughton.
Ese es McNaughton.
This is a moment where I think the whole country, and not just the country, but a lot of countries,
El mundo.
everybody gasped.
El
Everybody was like, I mean,
That hurts. That hurt my soul.
I also-
inside of my soul.
I couldn't believe it. I also saw a little mini explanation about it and says that Messi tends to do that. Messi, that's the reason, one of the main reasons he hasn't getting injured badly is because without he even knowing, he gives in to the transfer of weight or whatever.
Pivoting.
Yeah, he doesn't go against it. He actually gave into it. So like
He alleviated
he changed the weight, the distribution, whatever,
Ay,
something.
change the distribution.
He's so smart. He's so smart, Messi.
my
Messi's the
God.
best. I mean, listen, I know, because let me tell you, an injury like that,
solo vi.
he's out. He's
Solo
done.
vi, yo dije, animal. We even posted a story about it. That's
Yeah.
how upset we were.
Yeah, we were like, but regardless, you know, that all happened in the last couple of days because Miami played twice in like a span of 3 days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that was
Their
that
schedule is insane. We already talked about the Orlando.
So
Miami
that's a good
meeting.
thing that they sat him down for the last game. I would think
For the Orlando, it was for
for
the
the Orlando Monterreal.
no Miami Montreal. This guy says instead of Montreal, he says Monterreal.
Monterreal.
Es Montreal. No es
Yeah,
Monterreal.
No pasa nada.
The Canadians that follow, the one Canadian that probably follows this podcast,
Montreal.
just stop following us.
Montreal.
Como francés. Oh, Montreal.
Montreal.
Oh, ho, ho.
So but are we gonna jump into that one or we're
Well,
gonna-
let me just highlight being an Orlando fans, living in Orlando, Florida. Orlando, man,
what's going on? What's going on? Orlando. ¿Qué pasa? I mean,
Get
listen,
it together, guys. We believe in you, but man, I know that and here's the deal. The season is just starting. The MLS season has 34 games.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes.
But when you're third from the bottom in the table right now. In Miami, the nemesis is number one.
Well, I don't think we've
A diferencia de goles.
because you know, first of all, the 5-0 that was painful. Okay,
that hurt.
that was painful. I was hoping a lot more from Orlando.
That hurt.
Let's give it the benefit of this. You know, they have a new team. They have a new team member. Maybe they're getting getting used to with Lodeiro, but
Con
still.
Lodeiro, ¿te parece con Lodeiro?
Then you know
Parecido Lodeiro.
I know, but and now, with the last two games, I don't have an excuse. I mean, we had that game, man, and then we just let it go. So Orlando needs to tighten some screws.
Yes.
Dale onda. And then Miami,
Un poco de onda. Ajá.
which by the way, I want to talk just a little bit about the Real Salt Lake Colorado game because I think that was incredible. But I'll go back to Miami, Montreal.
Monterreal.
Dude, I thought that game was going to end 3-0.
Yeah.
As a matter, I don't want to say that I had money.
Aren't you an RSL fan?
I am, but hold on. We're Miami.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was thinking 3-0. Miami had nothing in the first half.
Wait,
nothing. Miami,
Oh, yeah.
Montreal. Like I thought Miami was gonna get just goleado, like 3-0 at
Sí.
least. And then they got it together for the second half. and they were able to do this. They were able to score.
Yes, the game yesterday.
But you could really tell that Suárez, the absence of Suárez and Messi.
Viste que Suárez se despertó.
They didn't have nothing in the front. They had nothing in the front, and no passes were going through. So Miami also, and there was a lot of mistakes by our good friend Chandelier. A lot of mistakes.
For those of you that follow this podcast, actually that don't follow, that are just starting to get accustomed to this podcast, my friend here calls the goalkeeper from Miami, whose name is Calendar, he calls him Chandelier.
The reason behind
I don't know why.
No, because in the beginning,
but he does it every
when
episode.
Messi started, that Miami had a great offense but had no defense for some reason. Chandelier was saving every game. He looked like he had more than one hand. He had multiple hands.
Bueno.
That when he's a Chandelier.
Aplauso.
It's a good thing. Sorry,
No,
I'm
like
sorry
that.
it's his last name, but it's a nickname. It's a Chandelier. He has multiple hands. He was saving everything.
El Chandelier.
And then, but now, like, he's feeling some pressure.
Ahora, Jordi Alba, qué golazo, Jordi Alba.
Golazo. So anyway, so that was a great game. And then lastly, Real Salt Lake, Colorado, our friend Balboa was commenting on that game, which I never heard Marcelo. This is the first time I hear Marcelo comentando en español.
What?
It was,
That's all he ever does.
I mean, it was the first time I ever heard him like.
Because you always watch the games in English.
Yeah,
claro.
And it was incredible to hear his Argentinian accent coming through.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love Marcelo Balboa. Me encanta cuando habla castellano.
Sí,
when you commentate in Spanish. Es lo mejor que hay.
And
we love you, Marcelo. And he's going to be our guest soon. So we're excited about that.
He was trying not to be biased, but he was trying. Oh, I'm from Colorado, but I don't mean to. But Colorado they were dominating.
I'm kind of wondering how he was commentating on Colorado Rapids when Colorado he works for he's there.
They were dominating that game.
Wow.
And I felt bad for my Real Salt Lake. They were not having it that night.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was a great weekend. It was.
And then Nashville tied against Galaxy yesterday 2-2.
Yep.
They've been tying a lot, man. Nashville.
Yep. Well, also, by the way, back to the Miami, Martinez played there. So his old team, Martinez.
In Montreal?
Sí, con Montreal.
Uh-huh.
So that was
Jose
cool.
Martinez.
That was cool.
Yep.
So anyways, by the way,
yes.
It was a great game. Manchester City and Liverpool. It was an incredible game.
That game
Great
was crazy. Game. I was watching it de reojo because I was taking care of the Frida. We were playing around, whatever. Andrés Cantor was going off the walls. He was like, ¡palo! ¡Le pegó al palo! Así, todo el tiempo había algo raro.
Sí.
Incredible.
It was a great game. So it was a great...
Only ended up 1-1.
Great soccer weekend.
And it was the last Premier League game between Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp.
That's right.
Because he's retired. He's going to change.
Yeah.
Unless you see each other later on in
Look at that. It was a great weekend for
It was a good
weekend.
Sport. Did you have a garage? You told me you had a garage sale.
Yeah, I was watching that game while I had a garage.
Wait, what did you do? Tell me exactly.
No, so if you're ever in the Longwood area and you want to go through a drive-through garage sale, I invented it. Drive-through garage sale. Because you can drive into my house and I have a little roundabout in the prop. So people drive in and I set up all the tables and they drive, they look.
I love it.
And if they wanna stop, they gotta park in a little area and they come down. So it was great. So we got rid of junk.
That's amazing. I love it.
Today's episode.
Yes.
It's gonna have an incredible, and we should have said this in the beginning.
That's okay.
It's gonna have an incredible interview. We have a special guest today, and with an incredible story, like one of those stories that it's a long episode.
Yes,
and we've divided it into two parts.
It'll be we'll be posting the first part today.
Yeah. So if you're watching this episode, you're gonna catch the first half of the interview, and right away the second half will be available on YouTube. On just the second half. So if you see that. But stay tuned.
Diego Hurtado, it is the ultimate immigrant story.
Yes.
It's fantastic. This is a guy who started from nothing and now has a very wonderful clothing brand with a lot of superstars in the industry.
And I don't want to, I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to spoiler alert.
Go ahead.
Ronaldinho is one of
the guys that wore
ambassadors for the
his
brand.
junk.
And blessed.
I'm blessed.
That guy
That's
too.
insane.
So don't miss the story. It's gonna start right now.
But Ronaldinho and Blessed do not compare to Matthew and Isabella hosting
That
the
is
beginning
right.
of the podcast. Thank you very much. There's no comparison.
That's right. That's right.
No hay comparación. I'm
Bueno.
sorry.
Así que thank you for watching the first.
What did you say? ¿Azoque?
Azoque.
You were going to say así que, but you said azoque.
Azoque who?
Qué terrible. ¿Estamos?
Bueno, here you go. Sin más preámbulos, here you go. La historia de Diego.
Enjoy it.
All right. So good afternoon, everybody.
Hi.
As you know, here in Socrates Football,
Yes.
we love people.
Yes.
That's our main thing. We fan about players and teams, but
Yeah.
what we really like is connecting with people.
1,000,000%.
And today we have an incredible guest with an incredible story.
Love it.
And I think that we really want to thank you, Diego, that's there, because he was very patient. We had some technical difficulties.
Yes.
But we're ready to start. So with us, without further ado,
What's up, Diego? ¿Cómo estás, querido?
Diego.
Hey, how are you guys? How are you?
Welcome to the
like I said,
program.
thank you.
Diego, thank you.
Man. Thank you for the invite.
Thank
Thank
you
you for the invite. It's good to be here to talk,
Thank
Diego,
you for
you-
the patience and for
Thank
coming.
you so
Yes.
much. Thank you. You're the owner of Diaza Sportswear, which is an amazing. We looked at the website. We've been following you for a while, kind of stalking you a little bit. You got some really cool merch, and you work with soccer teams, and we want to hear your story from scratch,
So,
basically everything.
Diego, what's your last name?
Yeah.
Hurtado.
Hurtado. Diego
Hurtado.
Okay, got it. And tell us, where were you born? Where were you raised? What are you doing in the States? Give us a little basic information.
Tell
about
us your life story, man.
Who is Diego, and what the heck are you doing with selling, having an amazing brand of clothing?
Yes.
Let's go by
Now,
parts.
First of all, obviously, first of all, thank you for, appreciating the work that we've done so far. I think it has become an incredible brand. So we keep working on that. Now, my story, basically, is, I was born in Colombia, in Bogota, the capital. And man, I was born in Bogota. I was born in a little neighborhood called San Marcos, where it's all about soccer. It's all about like futsal. In Bogota, there's a lot of futsal. We call it micro, right?
Futsal.
And there's a
That's indoor.
Yeah.
Indoors?
indoor, like indoor,
Ah.
like 5v5s.
Okay.
Sí,
So there's a lot of
eso está increíble. O sea, desde ahí, the amount of violence that happens in those games, la violencia está increíble.
The indoors is,
No one holds back.
yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be tough. That's right. You gotta be tough to play that game. You gotta be tough. You
Hell
gotta
yes.
Be, you can't be scared to go in those games. So no, that's how I grew up. I grew up in this neighborhood, playing soccer. And the neighborhood was only like micro, right? 5v5, always, in the neighborhood with everybody. This is a sport that is playing the whole, country, but especially in Bogota, it's like huge.
Huge,
It's
right?
Even bigger than soccer, like itself, like 11v11. In the
So
capital, in Bogota.
futsal is bigger than regular 11 versus 11 soccer. Está bueno.
Wow.
Yeah, in Bogota,
That's-
in Bogota.
Sí.
That's interesting to
Yeah.
know. Oh, I had no
Yeah, 'cause
idea.
when you go to, let's
Y es
say, the
rápido.
national team,
Es rápido.
yeah, it's quick,
Super quick.
Yeah.
Ta, 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 ta.
If you go to the national team for like James and Cuadrado and all these people, they're from like Medellin, Cali, Barranquilla, La Costa,
Sí.
right? Which if you go to the national team for futsal, which is one and it's really good, they're all from Bogota. Like
Wow.
90% of the team are from Bogota.
Do you know?
So-
Do you know if Colombia ever had a national player that came from futsal or not really?
Well, there's this guy that is playing in Gremio. He just made it to the last game. What's his name? Richard. He's right now. Look at the story of this guy. You guys should search him. He went to a tournament in Brazil, futsal, with the Colombian national team,
Mhm.
right? And Gremio saw him play futsal, and he's like, "You want to stay here with us?" And he stayed playing futsal, and from futsal he went to the first team of Gremio.
He transitioned.
I mean, he transitioned. I don't think it's Gremio. I think was the green one. I forgot. Well, whatever. It's one of the teams in Palmeiras.
Palmeiras.
And then he's now a full-time soccer player over there.
What
And now
the-
he's in the national.
Qué increíble.
national team of-
Richard Rios.
Ríos, Richard
Okay.
Ríos.
Qué increíble.
That's cool. So you grew up around this fast-paced, fast city, fast environment, maybe a little bit violent,
And
neighborhood and sport.
a lot of shit talking, I bet. Mucho prepotente. ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Qué
All right,
crees? Así.
all
Ajá.
right. So you
Sí,
you
sí,
you you grew up with the spark.
Muy de barrio, exacto.
Muy de barrio, muy
muy
groncha.
de-
Yeah,
muy de
yes,
barrio,
yes.
Muy ahí dándole a la cuadra, like being careful all the time. Yeah. To be honest, yeah.
When he said being careful, he went like,
Yeah,
be
like,
careful, like,
Hey,
like
ojo,
dodge,
ojo,
like,
ojo.
being careful.
Wow.
No, it was. I was. To be honest, I grew up in that environment. It was pretty tough. It was sometimes like even dangerous. That you need to know. Where were you going and all that kind of stuff. So it was. But obviously, when you're a kid, you don't really see it that way, right? You only just
You don't think about that.
Go and
Right.
yeah, you don't even think about it. You're just like, oh, we're gonna play soccer, and where it hits you, you just go at it, like. In the school, it was the same thing. Obviously, you see the danger, and with the time you learn, hey, I can't do this, right? I can't do that.
But
And all that stuff.
you know how to handle yourself. If you got to do it,
Exactly.
you know how to, because that's street smart. I don't think
Exactly.
we're not
So
very
I
street
think-
smart at all.
No, exactly. And I think that shaped me to I talk a lot about this. Who I am now, right? Like that path that I grew up in, that environment, that toughness, that quickness that you have to think quick and see, hey, what I had to do here, like all that stuff. It was something that, the street, it gives you that, the neighborhood gives you that stuff. And I think, and I was always like hustling, right? Like looking for, hey, I'll sell you a candy, try to get a quick buck, like I'll do this.
Qué capo, me encanta.
Yeah, in the school I was like, selling these candies for like, hey, you want this, you want it, because all my friends, they had like money for the lunches, right? For the refrigerio, they call it.
Claro,
And
sí,
I was
sí,
there
sí.
watching, and I was like, man, I had no money. My mom couldn't give me money. So I was like hungry. I was like, no, I'm going to do something, So I went, looked for candy, y lo empecé a vender así everybody.
Yeah, he was like, acá tiene que haber un negocio.
That is the
Estoy cagado de hambre and I want to make some
This
money.
is the beginning.
Let's
This
do
is
this.
the what is it? The genesis of
Yeah.
of
I
Di-
mean,
of
bro,
of Diaza.
Love that.
Look, my school is called Antonio Nariño. If you search it right now, it looks like a jail. Right there.
This
And
guy
it
went to school in federal prison, bro. Qué
And it
increíble.
was- Yeah, bro. So now, but I was always, you know what? Now it was a tough environment, and people were like bad. But I guess that's when soccer comes in my life, right?
Right.
Soccer was the only thing that took me away from that.
Right,
was
it
like,
rescued you.
Okay, exactly. Because I started playing, in like Kia Seguros, which is a team in Bogota, and another club called Real Madrid, which was, the ones that like como que me formaron.
Sí.
And these guys will be top of me, right? Because they knew where I come from. So they're like, hey, listen, if you don't make it a practice, you're out. And I wasn't in a scholarship because I couldn't pay. So they're like, listen, we're gonna give you a scholarship. I was good enough to be in a scholarship. I was one of the top players in the team. So they're like, if you want to be here, but you got to be on point. You can't miss no practice.
Yeah.
So the team used to practice 3 times a week. They made me practice 5, and 2 games in the weekend, and
Wow.
I could never miss, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that gave me that discipline to stay focused on soccer, right? And one day I was doing bad in school, and I was like, like going with these guys all the time, hanging out.
The wrong
and my
people.
Dad, yeah, exactly. So my dad, he found out, and obviously he went at me, and I don't want to say what he did to me, but the word that he said to me, like he said, he's like, listen, if you want to keep doing this, then there's not soccer for you. And he took me away for like a month.
Oof.
Man, that was the worst experience there. And that time there was no phones, right? There was no cell phone. So when I finally could come back to the school, and coach was like, where were you? Where about you, man? We need this and that. And then my dad came and like, well, I took him away because of this. So if you want him here, between us, we got to make sure that he doesn't keep doing that.
What a blessing.
At that moment, I understood that I just got to keep going, because
How old were you when this happened?
I was around like 12, 13. The
Wow.
thing
It's
is,
a
like,
major lesson
listen,
at that age.
Yeah.
listen, when I was 13, I was already taking buses to go to practice, right? Like in the street, like, hey, boss, right? I already trying to bring some money to my house. Like, hey, I saw these candies. Hey, here you go, mom. You know, like the difference between a 12-year for now to back then in the day in
A
Colombia
los 12 años no
is
estaba haciendo
major.
nada.
I mean, here at 12,
At 12, you're
kids-
playing with the iPad and Xbox and
Yeah.
PS4 and whatever.
My daughter's 9.
you-
That's just 3 years shy, and I mean, I relate. I mean, I went to school on a bike, but I don't see that happen. Well, anyways, but I appreciate
fascinating, bro.
I appreciate your story, and now it's starting to click. And I don't want to get ahead, because what the name of what you created, what the meaning of the name, you're gonna talk to us about it. But the keywords are hard effort, endurance, passion, and it sounds like you really are going through a lot of this as you grow up. So now what?
And
Tell
right
us-
mentality too.
Yeah,
We said right mentality.
So you stayed in Colombia, and then you came to the States. So what? Tell us. Let's do a
Yeah.
little jump.
So when I was around 15, 16, when I was entering 16 years old, I had to decide. There was an opportunity for my mom to come to the United States. You know, she was engaged with a guy here from the U.S. He was Colombian, but he was a U.S. American too. So he said, like, okay, I can bring you guys to the United States, and to us that was a life changing, right? The opportunity to finally, see something, the light, because it was always tough with my mom. So she said Miami and all this kind of stuff, but I was already playing, Primera C, which is like almost the pros, like with the professional.
In Colombia.
In Colombia,
Sí.
yeah. I'm 15 years old, so you're like, and all the coaches
Bro.
like, oh, we need you. We're gonna sign you. I'm in love, right? Like, I almost didn't go to 11 year because I had to train in the mornings. So to go to school, it was in the morning. So I changed to go to school at night, right? So everybody was opposed. My mom was opposed because it was even more dangerous at night. So my mom was like, nah, you're not gonna do that. But I was like, no, I have to do it for soccer, and I did it. But that year, I was injured. I had pualia for a year, almost a year, 10 months.
Oh my gosh.
Pualia, like you're growing, like it really hurts, like really bad. I couldn't even put my socks. Like it was a lot of pain. Now, yeah, in Colombia was called pualia, and it was because, the doctor told me at the end was like, because I used to force myself too much when I was like 10, 11, 12, because I used to practice a lot and go on the bike home, right?
Yeah.
Your body was saying to you, you need to ease up, and you kept going.
Exactly. So obviously, as a kid, you don't feel that, right?
No, of
So
course.
when I hit 15, boom, my legs were like giving up on me.
Oh.
I think it's funny now that I think, because if I wouldn't be good, I would have stayed in Colombia because I knew I was playing, right? I was a starter. I was this, I was that, right? So I came to the United States because I couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, like hopeless. I was like, that's it, I'm done. Being dramatic. I was like, that's it, I'm done, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go to the United States. And one of the coaches be like, listen, if you don't play in a month, we need to cut you because you're just here doing nothing.
Right.
And I was like, damn, like I was sad and all that. And then my mom was like, listen, might as well just go with me and we'll see. Soccer in United States,
Yeah.
you're going to make it. It's like, oh, los blanquitos no juegan, no sé qué. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? Like, she might be right. I'm just going to go and try my luck over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came and we're right to Miami. And in Miami, it was, like I say, a lot of people miss that, back home and like they get sad and all this. For my sister was bad. Like she was really bad, like sad and all that.
It was hard for her.
Man, it was hard for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think because she was like 18 years old. Man, I was 15 and I was living my life. I was like,
You're like, Miami.
What year?
I was like,
What
Qué
year was
increíble
this?
Miami.
What year
I
was
was
this?
like, what do you mean? It was 2009, 2010.
Oh man, yeah, Miami is.
And I was like,
Bumping.
I was like, what do you mean? You can take out your phone and stuff like that.
You're not going to get beat up. No te van a robar. Claro, está increíble.
Bro, the amount of phones that they took from me, whatever.
En
And then I go to
Colombia.
Miami, en Colombia.
Mami, me robaron otra vez. Qué feo. My gosh.
So when you got here from Colombia, you started playing soccer over here?
So then, yeah, I was still injured. Remember that I was still injured?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was still injured, whatever. But then I went to high school, and there's soccer in high school, right? But
Right.
the soccer wasn't that good. Obviously, when I come and I try out for the team, man, I'm blasting everybody. I'm like, because I come playing with the pros.
That's what I wanted to know.
Claro, boludo.
That's what I wanted to know. How
comes at 1,000.
How's that different? Like, did you come here and like just dominate?
Destroy.
No, I was destroying everybody.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Like the high school that I went to wasn't good at soccer. It was very bad. It was only like, I don't know, like they were not good.
Mm-hmm.
And the coach was Colombian, and he's like, he started me every time. He put me as a capitan, and I was like, what the hell? What is this going on?
America!
One day, we started the season, and we won 3-0, and I scored the 3 goals.
Oh, my gosh. Hat trick.
And, bro, out of nowhere, and the next day in the high school, en el programa de las mañanas, in the morning show.
Yeah.
I was there. They're like, oh, my God. In the news, we never beat Sunset. Like, from 11 years, we haven't beat Sunset.
Oh, you became Mr. Popular in high school.
In high school.
I see.
Exactly, and I was like, I see like that. And I was like, oh, shit. So I was
That's a good immigration story right there.
Yeah.
That's the proper immigration story.
What's that movie?
It isn't typical.
What's that movie, Kicking and Screaming? That there's the 2 Italian kids and that they only play like it's Will Ferrell. He's a coach.
Oh, he's a coach. Yeah, no.
And then they bring the immigrant kids, and the immigrant kids are like playing on their own, destroying everybody.
That was you, the immigrant kid.
That was you, the little immigrant kid just destroying.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Diego, when did you, in this high school career that you had, whatever, were there scouts that would show up? Did the coach talk to scouts? Were they like, hey, this guy's amazing. You have to see my play or whatever?
So this is what happened. I went the first to a very, very bad school on soccer. Like, it was very bad. It was called Southwest, right? In Miami, around, Southwest area. And it was very bad at soccer, right? And then they always say, like, oh, this school called Ferguson and Varela and Kendall, that they're amazing. In soccer, they're the top of the players. There's Colombians. Because in my team in Southwest, there was not Colombians. There was nobody. There was Cubans. There was this, there was that. So there was not,
Oye, loco. Pasa la pelota. Pasa la bola.
Oye, ¿cómo se juega esto?
No, now.
Eso no es béisbol.
There was like 2 Cubans that they could ball. I was like, oh, I was actually surprised.
Okay.
But
it's not their sport.
It's not. It wasn't the sport back then. Now, I mean, still, whatever. And then the coach was like, hey, I'm gonna take you to an academy, because besides high school, there's academies, right? And I went to the academy, the same thing. But this time, the academy has some ballers, like Colombians, Venezuelan, Argentinians.
Claro.
And I was like, ooh.
Sorry.
I was like, ooh, I'm in my zone now. I'm now playing good, with good people. So I came to the academy, and there was like 3 levels, right? So they put me in like the C team, and I destroy everybody again.
Of course.
And then they put me in like the A team, and they offered me to go DA in that time. DA, it was like the top, development academy. But then here he goes. You had to pay, my man. You had to pay a lot of money. You had to pay a lot of money.
Is this not the capitalist country that we know of as America?
We're so glad that you're an excellent player, but here's your bill.
Here's your bill. Exactly.
Exactly. So when I go back to my mom, I was like, Mom, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, soccer. And she's like, I don't have money. And I was like, we're fighting for, like the green card and all these bills and new rent. And, I was like, I couldn't ask. So what I did, I got a job. I got a car wash job. I started doing car wash in Miami, I started selling candies in my high school.
Qué increíble los dulces. Here you go.
Yeah, but here it was another thing. It was illegal. They took me to the president, like como the principal. Oh, this guy is doing this. Why is he doing that?
Oh, you got in trouble.
Yeah, I got in trouble. So I was like, no, I'm doing it for soccer. And I got in trouble, whatever. And then, but I started working in the weekends. And then I got another job in a movie theater at night. So I used to go to high school.
All of this to pay for soccer. All of this to pay for soccer.
Just to pay for soccer. Yeah, just to pay for soccer.
Loco, me estoy emocionando.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
This is incredible.
Beautiful. Keep going. Sorry.
Just to pay for soccer because it was that expensive. And then I just keep on going for like 6 months. So my injury start getting back again because I'm not sleeping, right? I'm going to high school, right? Studying. I go to practice from like 5 to 7.
Then you go to the
Then
theater.
I go to the movie. Then I go to the theater from like 8 to like 12, you know?
Dormís, básicamente dormís 4 o 5 horas por noche.
Sí,
You don't
exacto.
never recover. You never recover.
Nunca descansaba, nunca nada. So my performance started going down, like very bad. Like I was gonna, you know. So I'm not in the A team anymore. I'm in like the B team, but I'm still going at it, you know, going and going. Obviously, nobody knows that. You know, the kids over there, they didn't know that. You know, the coaches didn't know. They didn't really care. They never asked, like, "Oh, are you okay? Like, what are you doing?" You know.
It's a little more colder mentality, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, yeah, you know, like I would just keep on going and try to make it, and then, but to one day, una uruguaya, la que cobra, llegó al entreno. Diego Hurtado hasn't paid in 2 months. Get out of here. We can't train.
Oh,
but
man.
In front of everybody?
In front of everybody. In front of everybody. I was like,
boludo, me duele el corazón.
What?
I was like, that hurt. That day it hurt. Oh, I used to go to a practice in bike, but this time the bike was the rides were like really far. So that's why my injury got back, and whatever, you know, all these obstacles, all these things, and I started like going down in my performance. But then that academy, I got new friends that used to go to Varela and Ferguson, and they told me, "Hey, Diego, let's go to Varela and Ferguson. We're building a team for nationals, and it's gonna be great. You should join us." Man, I didn't even think about it.
Of course.
My high school was like very far from Varela. Like we're talking Doral and Kendall, you know?
It's a drive,
So
yes.
It's a drive. I didn't have no car. I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I was like, I'm in, let's go.
Esta es una película, boludo.
Yeah, I
una
mean,
película.
One of my friends, Christian Mera, he's still good. One of my friends, like, I'll get you the address. No worry. You know, like, I'll give you my papers because you have to register with your address, you know, around the high school. So, like, I'll get you with the address, you know, just find a transportation or something. And, you know, glory of God. And by that time, my grandpa had died and he left some money to my mom. And my mom was like, you really want to go to that school? Then let's buy you a car. And with that money that my grandma gave you, and that way you can go. And I think that was the biggest support from my mom. You know, she couldn't pay for anything, but every time she could, she would always like look for me and
that's
and
beautiful.
Yeah, man. And I started going there, and we built a squad. We had a really good. We went to nationals. We won everything, bro. Like we were huge in the high school. Like everybody was like, oh, the soccer players, blah blah blah. You know, I'm living this high school life that I was never used to it. But I live it in 11th grade, you know, like I didn't know, you know, freshman and all that, and blah, 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 whatever. But I'm already with another mentality. I feel like they were kids, you know, like they were compared to like where I was. It's like they were kids. They're like, oh, you want to go play FIFA? I'm like, bro, what you talking about? I got to go work, you know, like, you know, like I never relate to that.
Es otro país, es otra onda. It's another vibe.
Pero yo nunca les decía nada. Like I would never say anything. I would never say, oh, I have to work. Maybe I was shy. I would say that or something like that I had to work. I never told anybody that I had to work. Some of my closest friends knew. But then whatever, we met in Varela and we went to nationals, we went to regionals, and from there I got a scholarship to go to university.
University, okay.
University, I actually got scouted for go D1, but this is a funny story. I took the SAT 7 times. Never passed.
Oh my God. Loco, it's hard, bro. It's hard, man. I understand. It's hard.
I didn't speak one word English, bro. And they were asking me to make an essay. I was like, I ended up the essay in Spanish. I was like, listen, gracias por todo.
Gracias por todo. Dios me lo bendiga a todos. Gracias por considerarme. Bye.
Nos vemos, mi hermano.
Sí. No, pero loco, es que, loco, no es fácil. I think people that are watching this, if you're not an immigrant, if you haven't gone through the immigrant experience that we have gone through, where you're just like at the lowest of the low and you have to work your way up and your family has to work their way up and there's not enough food and not enough money and you have to figure out how to make shit work. This is how it is, man. and that you're
Yeah,
thrown
bro,
into
and-
this culture and you don't know the language.
Yeah,
Incredible.
exactly. So here you go, the D1 status. I couldn't go. You know, the coaches were like, "Listen, we gotta move on. We got all the recruits." And then this guy from, I guess, from God sent it to me.